All right, hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well. This is Rudy. Hey, tonight's video is going to be a little different than I normally do. Normally I like to have a message that is, trying to expose some lie in the world, or, discuss the stupidness of evolution, or, the currency collapse, or all the lies and corruptions in our media and government. But tonight's going to be much different, and it's going to be boring, and it's just for me. This video is for me, about me, and I need something to go on the record in the public domain in the event anything happens later. This past week, I went on a carnival cruise with my wife and the deacon and the deaconess, and we stopped by Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and Cozumel, and it was on a carnival cruise. It was the Magic, and I've never been on a cruise before. My wife and I got tickets. It was $800 a person. And I don't know that I would go back as a repeat customer, but it was quite an experience. And I recommend, maybe one time to try it out. It may not be your cup of tea, but you get a lot of experience. And so I enjoyed the experiences that I got, and visiting new places. And that was my first cruise, and it was quite an experience. And I got to meet some people, and one of the things, that I would like to go into at maybe another time is how the lie of evolution has just taken over almost everybody that I talk to, and they believe that we're just a big accident, and they don't believe, it seems like atheism has really made some advances. I met some really bright young people, and it would surprise me when we got into discussions about God that they just don't have a belief in God. But in any event, okay, so again, I told you it's going to be a boring video, and it's not a normal video, and it's about me and for the record. So I want to get some facts out there, and I just got home from the trip. I've been gone all week, and I just got home and I started going through my mail. And a few weeks ago, I got involved in helping put together, along with lots of other good people, this event on May the 26th, and about a week after it's www.icareabouttheconstitution.com, and there's a lot of good people helping me do this, and it's got some very nationally renowned speakers. Orly Tates, Pastor James David Manning, Dr. Wiley Drake, Alfred Adask, Mickey Booth. They're all coming on May the 26th, and I'm one of the people that's helping try to promote that. And about a week after I jumped in and tried to help, I mentioned to you guys that an Immigration's Customs Enforcement agent contacted my work, an ICE agent, and said that I had been targeted for a citizenship audit, and they wanted to see my birth certificate. And my response back to them was, if it's legally required that I show it to you, I will do it, but I'm not going to do it unless you tell me it's legally required in order to keep my job. Well, they told me that if you want to keep your job, you better send us your birth certificate. So I sent it to them, right? I didn't figure, I ain't looking forward to being jobless just yet. But if I do lose my job, so be it. It'll be more time to work for the Lord. I'm not coming at this from the perspective of woe is me. I want to be factual about what's happened, so that in the future you'll have a video with me telling my story. So I showed him my birth certificate, and that was the end of that. Okay, I scanned it in, and I didn't put it in multiple layers, and I didn't put little smiley faces, and I didn't put it together from pieces of multiple documents like Obama did, who's not even our president. But I scanned in a picture, I think it was a JPEG, and I sent it. Well, now that I come back from our cruise, I get a letter in the mail, 2 letters. One of them is they're sending back my 2011 taxes, because they think that I've done them wrong, and they want me to redo some stuff and send that back. But that's not the big one. The big one is they now have the IRS, right? I've never had problems with the IRS my whole life. I've always tried to pay my full taxes. I know that some of you think that we should not be paying our taxes. I've never taken that position. I know some of you support a tax strike. I don't support a tax strike. I think that the Lord is very clear when they asked him that question, that he said to pay your taxes. And if your argument is, well, the government is evil and supporting abortions, I can kind of see that argument, but I think that a tax strike is not something the Lord would have us do. I just don't believe it, right? I pay my taxes. I do believe that we should speak up for the truth and say that we have an illegal president, even at the point of death. I believe we should protest illegal governments and not support abortion, and we should scream it to the best of our ability and promote ways to not support abortion. But I don't personally think that we should stop paying our taxes. I've always said in all of my videos that I think we should pay our taxes, because I think the Lord was very clear on that. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. And if your argument is, well, the government is very evil now and we shouldn't pay our taxes because the government's so evil, I would say the government was just as evil, if not more so, at the time Christ said what he said. Now, I'm not saying we should give unlimited submissiveness to government. That's not what I'm saying, right? I think that we should speak out against government and try to correct injustices. And there are ways to do that. And I'm trying those ways as best I can. But my particular personal position is I've always said we should pay our taxes. Okay, so what I want to get on the record is that one of the letters I got is the government is saying that I earned, I'm just going to throw these figures out there. I'm not going to, I don't want to like put all my details out in the public airwave, but the government is saying that I earned $65,000 more than I earned, and they're claiming that I have to pay $20,000 additional taxes with an additional $4,000 penalty. And it's clear to me the mistake that they made that makes them say that, although I think I'm being targeted, right? I think I'm being targeted because I'm speaking out against Obama's eligibility, and I'm willing to die if necessary. But I think how they're going to try to spin this, just like they threw Ken Hovind in jail, they may try to spin it where I'm trying to evade my taxes, and that's simply not the case. I'm going to go into some details here that are going to bore you to death, but I need my story to be out there so that in the event, no matter what happens in the future, you've got my story, right? So they're actually claiming that I underpaid my taxes in the year 2010, right? Even though I just turned in my 2011 taxes, they're claiming that I underreported my income on 2010. And so just using example numbers, let's say that I make $100,000 a year as a round example, right? They're claiming that I made $165,000, which is simply not true. I didn't. The error is so gross that it's obvious to me, that it's wrong. And how they're doing that is I did cash in some stock options for the company that I work for. And if you understand how stock options work, as an example, let's say that you have the option to buy stock at $10 a share. But the stock is now trading at $13 a share. So when you cash in your stock options, what you do in effect is you buy the option at 10, you immediately sell it, and you get a profit of $3 a share. Okay? But what the government is doing, is they're claiming that I profited on the whole $13 a share, which is simply wrong. That's not how stock options work. So they're claiming that I sold the entire stock options at $13 a share. But see, I'm given the right to buy at $10. So I have to buy it at 10. I turn around and sell it at 13. So I made a profit of $3 a share. Not only that, okay, so they're claiming that I made a profit on the full $13, which is absolute wrong, right? The government is wrong in how they're looking at my income. Not only that, but the $3 profit that I did get, right? I'm just using example numbers to explain the situation. The $3 profit that I did get is included in my W-2 wages already on my 2010 W-2 form. So my $100,000 income already includes the $3 profit for the stock options that I did exercise. And so when you add up all of those stock options up, the government thinks that I made an additional $65,000, which is simply not true, because I had to pay money to exercise those stock options, and the small profit that I did get is included in my W-2 2010 form. And so they're expecting me to pay this additional, $24,000. Basically, I think it's $20,000 in taxes and then $4,000 penalty on this supposed $65,000 income. Now, I know this is very boring, but you need to hear this for later, because I ain't going to do this. I mean, I'm not going to let the government, I will pay my taxes, right? Don't get me wrong. If I'm convinced that I owe the taxes, I will pay it. But I know what the government is saying in this letter is absolute wrong. I feel and I know that I'm being targeted unfairly because I'm speaking out about Obama's eligibility. I'm being targeted by this ICE agent, and now I'm being targeted by the IRS. And I'm not gonna pay unfair taxes because, you know, I'm principled. Even if I could go get a loan on my house and pay the taxes, I ain't gonna do it. So I'm willing to die, right? I'm willing to pay fair taxes just like everybody else for my income level. But when you try to do this to me and target me unfairly, and then you're gonna spin it that I didn't pay my taxes, and you're trying to put me in jail like you did Ken Hovind, I'm willing to die. So when you send somebody out to unfairly charge me money that I don't owe, well, be ready to kill me because, you know, or you're going to have to convince me, right, that somehow your interpretation of my 2010 taxes is right, because I know that it's wrong. I know that it's wrong, and I've already looked at it. Anyway, I know this is a very boring video. I needed to have made it because I don't know what's going to happen in the future, and I simply, on matter of principle, will not submit to this. And I'm going to call the IRS up. I'm going to tell them my story, and we'll see what kind of, you know, buffoon they're going to put on the phone with me. And it's probably going to take hours and hours and hours of time, and I'm willing to put a little bit of time to try to correct it. But it may get to a point where, you know, I feel like I'm dealing with somebody who's just an idiot. And then you know, we cross the line and the government's made their position, and then we all know what happens. You can look at Ruby Ridge, you can look at, you know, you can look at Ken Hovind, what they did to him. You can look at other things. And so we'll just see, you know. What's funny is that I've always taken the position that I think the Lord made it clear that we pay our taxes. But I'm not saying that we should always be submissive to an unjust government. I think that we should speak out and try to fix it. And I think that's the position. Because when the unbelievers look at us, they'll just see that they will interpret the situation as, well, that man just didn't want to pay his taxes. They won't see the righteousness of trying to speak out against an unjust government. And I don't support the government's support of abortion. I don't support a lot of things our government does. I don't even think the government is legitimate. I think Barack Obama is a foreigner, you know. And I'm willing to die to keep saying that. And I'm willing to die to hold an event, to help promote events. But I'm not gonna pay these additional taxes because I believe it's extortion on me, and I believe I'm being unfairly targeted. Anyway, that's all I got to say. God bless every one of you. We'll see how this thing turns out, and I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm going to sleep good tonight. God bless every one of you, and keep up the good fight.